for watching the video. As you can see, it's my deadlift training from March 15th of 2018. I actually took a visit up to SMG Powerlifting to visit Michael and Sandra Garozzo's gym up in Yorktown Heights in New York. Decided to actually plan for a tested max and decided to do a competition style, meaning that I pretty much just pulled with the exact same equipment that I would be using in about 7 weeks at the USPA IPL Philadelphia Fit Expo powerlifting competition. And actually came into that day, which was yesterday, came into the idea of already had a set number in mind of what I was going to plan to attempt, and which was 722. And pretty much I wanted to gauge exactly based on how this lift went would determine pretty much what I would be shooting for at this competition in 7 weeks. If it's an appropriate number, if it's a number that actually is kind of loose, where I can actually go up a little bit. Pretty much just to get a feel of what that weight will feel like in my hands on that day, as well as, like I said, getting my central nervous system acclimated to this kind of weight. So I opened up with 655, which again would be my ideal planned opener for the competition. Moved pretty well. Actually moved a lot slower than I actually anticipated. Well, pretty much both lifts actually moved slower than I anticipated. Decided to jump right to 722, and pretty much moved pretty slow, honestly. Pretty much this will pretty much set the precedence of what I'm going to be shooting for at this competition. So again, like I said, I just wanted to get a feel and get a gauge of what that weight would feel like coming into this competition, let alone the fact that how would it feel with the exact equipment I would be using at this competition as well. So I already have an idea of what I'm going to be feeling that day. There are some definitely positive takeaways from the performance. So with that being said, with my diet, just staying on consistent on that, as well as not making the adjustments as I would meet week for the kind of performance. So, there are some takeaways. Like I said, overall performance, just kind of going back and analyzing everything, it definitely moved a lot slower than I anticipated. So, that being said, pretty much somewhere around this number is where I'll be shooting for the competition. Definitely walked away with an 11-pound PR, which is obviously a plus. But like I said, due to some certain factors that do come into play, those are things that I take into account on meet day. And, there could be, these are some factors that actually can benefit me and can hurt me. Just taking all those things into account coming up to that day, which is 7 weeks away. So definitely, just taking away from his performance and just using it as a reminder just to stay consistent and just, stay on pace and just stay on track with what I'm doing. And like I said, my biggest thing has always been just really trying to fine tune and adjust to really just pacing myself and knowing when to push it at the right times. And it just so happened that, this particular time was actually the best fitting to be able to test for a heavy single and push at the appropriate time, where I would have enough time to be acclimated and fine tune my central nervous system as well as my my training, where it will not affect me, so that way I'll be able to peak at the right time for my competition. So just definitely, like I said, a lot of takeaways from this performance, and still, as always, just analyzing everything and kind of getting an idea of what is working, what is not working, any last minute adjustments. Really, when it comes to 8 weeks under, it's really all about fine tuning. It's nothing really major. It's kind of pretty much set in stone. It is what it is. And it's all about pretty much just hitting your numbers and making sure you're peaking at the appropriate times. And pretty much that's where I'm at right now. So, like I said, the biggest thing is just knowing what that weight felt like in my hands. And I can say confidently that I have an idea of what that feels like now. So, So I have about 7 weeks left, which would put me at about 7 workouts left. I'm going to be starting a new training cycle this coming Sunday. Not entirely sure what that's going to be looking like. Again, I still have an idea of what I'm going to be shooting for, but I'm not sure exactly which direction I want it to go. And of course, that being said, this performance definitely helped decide which path in my peaking phase that actually will be. So, like I said, it's all about just fine-tuning everything and just being consistent and just peaking and pacing at the appropriate times. And, at the end of the day, we all want to get better. We all want to strive to constantly achieve and hit PRs when you're in working out, or, constantly just keep knocking down every single goal that we get. But the most important thing we have to realize and not lose sight of is you have to be patient and you have to pace yourself. That is the most important thing. It's the most essential thing, because the thing is that if you do that right and you balance that effectively, you will have a consistent momentum and progress where it will seem a lot more easier to stay on a flow and stay at a consistent rate, that you're not pushing yourself, you're staying on the right line. You'll be able to hit and progress and constantly achieve the goals that you want on a consistent level, on a consistent pace. So, and that's something that I am still in the early stages of learning and trying to understand in regard to my body and my training and how I want to perform at these competitions. So, that being said, of course, as always, I really do appreciate the support that I get from those of you who watch my videos, who just look for any advice, look for any tips when it comes to training. As always, feel free to contact me if you have any questions. And just a different level right now, physically, mentally, just, I feel that I'm on the right path. And as long as I stay consistent and just keep making the right choices, and most importantly, like I said, be patient and pace myself, then things will line up and things will fall into place. And now, knowing that where I stand in regards to my performance, now I have an idea and I have a set gauge on what I want to strive for, and now it's all about just pacing myself and just hitting my strides from now until 7 weeks later. So, other than that, I really don't have anything else. So just ready to get back into it, man. And yeah, like I've said before, this competition has such high regard to me on a personal level. I do hold this competition in such regard as just winning another world championship, and I'm training as such. And I think that when you want something so much, it doesn't take any needed extra motivation. There's no needed push. It's a pull. And that's one thing I notice, is that there's something you really want when you don't have to push yourself for it. You naturally are pulled by it. It's something that you don't have to force yourself to do. If there's something that you really want, it will not have to take any convincing to you or from somebody else for you to go after it and do it. And you'll be surprised what you really are capable of when you come across those opportunities or those goals that you want, and you put yourself in that position. I challenge you to take a step back and look at what it is that you do to achieve it. And you'll be surprised how much more you have done and have accomplished and are capable of when your eye is on the prize on what it is that you want to do, versus something that you tell yourself you're going to do, but you force yourself. Yes, willpower is something that is definitely real. It is part of reality. But I believe purpose trumps everything. And when there's something you really want, there's a purpose behind it. There's a purpose behind why it is you want said thing, goal, idea to become reality. And When you are focused, you are determined, it doesn't take any need of convincing for you to go 110% after what it is that you really want. So I would challenge you at any point in time, if you're ever on the path of a goal that you want to achieve, and not when you get there, just take a step back. Maybe it could be you're just in the middle of doing homework, or maybe you're in the middle of a workout, or maybe you are in the middle of training for something. Take a step back and look at what you're doing, and not realize how much you have to go, but realize how far you come. Sometimes that's the easiest motivation that you need. Not what you have coming, what you've done. And I guarantee you, if you keep that in the back of your head, and you keep that as a constant reminder to yourself, it's an easy motivator and an easy reminder to tell yourself that no matter what, if you've done everything that you already accomplished in the past, why can't you accomplish more? If you told yourself before that you want to accomplish X, Y, and Z, and you did, and now you want to accomplish A, B, and C, why can't you accomplish those things? At the end of the day, the easiest motivation to have is what you've done. Because what you've done determines who you are. What you're willing to do will put you in situations in life where you will be in a moment of writing the testament of your character and who you are as an individual, and writing your legacy. Because you have to remember, at the end of the day, there's a famous quote that says that pain is something that is only temporary. It may last for a minute, an hour, or a day, or maybe even a year. But it's only temporary. But if you quit, that lasts forever. So I encourage you, take a step back. Look at what you're doing. Look at where you're going. And most of all, look at what you've done. Thank you guys for watching the video, and take care.